Again, I'd like to applaud this Weekend Star on its story about this. It is, I think, one of the 4 dailies that talks about the Kalou by-election. At least the Star has given us a list of all the 9 candidates taking part in the by-election. Once again, let me read their names so that you understand, because we've just been talking about UDA and DCP here. Timothy Kamau Kariuki of the People's Renaissance Movement, Rachel Wangui Njoroge of PDP, Stephen Wanyoike of the National Liberal Party, Federal Party's candidate Abdi Fatah Hussein, Kenya One, or Kenya Moja, they have a candidate by the name Edward Mathenge Mwaneki, PNU has a candidate, Edwin Moshiri, Jubilee Party has a candidate, Wilson Kegwa, and then the 2 most talked about candidates, Samuel Mushina Nyaga of UDA and DCP's Sami Kamau Ngodho. So questions now getting to a point where issues around integrity are coming up, and you've heard what the IEBC chairperson, Bona Ethekon, has said. Today being a Friday, of course, it is a youth perspective. We have in studio with us for the very first time on TV47 Breakfast, Edwin Mawira Njagi, who's a UDA Mount Kenya and Nairobi Metropolis strategist. So some of these strategies you see in Mount Kenya, Edwin is the man behind them. Karibu sana. It's good to have you in studio.
Thank you so much.
Njeri Kahiga makes a comeback to TV47 Breakfast. Njeri, karibu sana. She's a national youth leader with the DCP party. Karibu Njeri, it's good to have you in studio. And we are hoping Angel Mbudhia, chairperson Jubilee Youth League, will be joining us shortly on set as we discuss this. So let's start off with you, Edwin. And you can see the papers today. The Standard talking already about open bribery. The IEBC chairperson coming out and said, and pointing out issues around bribery as well as other things, and even threatening to delay the polls if these things continue. Do you agree that there are serious questions about the integrity of the Kalou by-elections, 6 days to the day?
First, Fred, you will agree with me that the opposition has been on the forefront of crying out loud for lack of an agenda. These are the same people who came out scathingly, talking about Kasongo and, one term all over their campaign platforms. And they deviated from the main agenda, which is campaigning for their candidate. And once they've been cornered, they've now retreated to theatrics and talking about how there's an election going to be rigged. You've seen some Yala member of parliament a day before yesterday talking about how there's a plan to rig the election. And I don't know who's planning to rig the election. And also, we want to tell the IEBC that we're not ready for a postponement, actually. If it is happening so that people can say that the UDA party is out to, interfere with the election, that is not true. It is the opposition that has come out so strongly, barring people, our agents, from entering Kalou. Wanjiku Mohia is on record talking about how if they see someone who's not from the region or from the constituency, they should, do whatever they have to do to them. So these are people who have no agenda, and instead of campaigning for their candidate, they've now deviated to theatrics and talking about how the election is going to be rigged and stuff.
Yet, Edwin, the Standard is not the opposition, and they talk about open bribery, which they accuse the IEBC of back without bite. But we've had the IEBC chairperson talking about this and saying, yes, there are instances or there are allegations of voter bribery as well. These are serious issues about the integrity of the question of the by-election, even before the voting ballot day itself, where probably there would be rigging, if at all.
Did the IEBC chair talk about UDA rigging the election?
No.
Oh, okay.
He said there are allegations of voter bribery. It's the Standard that actually points out to some of the activities by the government, which the ruling party has a candidate there.
The Standard is the opposition.
How now? That's the media.
But this is one of the papers that have been out here. You remember even our president talking about how these people have been all over the place talking about, shooting down every government project that has been initiated by this government. So some of these people, and I want to applaud you, the TV47 and Cape Media, you've stayed on your lane, without interfering with politics, because, the media is supposed to inform, and that is the business of the media. But when the media takes sides, then we have serious questions to ask about that. we have no problem with the IEBC chair talking about all these. They have their mechanisms of getting the information however they can, so we let them say whatever they want to say. But in matters postponement of the election, if they do, then the UDA party and DCP and Jubilee, whoever else is running, we all become party of the consequences of an election being postponed. So no one should make it look like it's a new DA issue, because that is what people are out to make it look like.
All right.
Yeah.
Jerry, many of you